Hey everyone, it's HQ doing the MCU. All tonight's questions will pertain to the undisputed phenomenon that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 10 years in, does this mega franchise encompass a world broad enough and characters interesting enough to continue into an infinite future? Or is it so hamstrung by an inherent lack of narrative resolution that it's basically deep-fried its own cinematic kebab? I'm Beric Livingstone, and my answer to that question is, who cares? These movies hit us with enough adrenaline to make us believe we have superpowers ourselves. We're just choosing to sit in the dark eating popcorn. And that's good enough for me. Why, by the way, with all the fantastic costumes to choose from, am I channeling Tony Stark? Because he has the best house, the best lines, and the best hair. It's obvious. Now, your ancestors called it magic, you call it science. Here on HQ, they're one and the same. We will turn knowledge into notes. 1,000 of them. Trivia alchemy. 12 MCU cues. 10 seconds for each. Teach me, you say. Well, you get hurt, learn some facts. You get killed, use an extra life to get back in the game. Invite players, play a few days in a row. You can even buy them if you want. And if you find yourself saying, I know him, he's a friend from work, then find another colleague and get her to play too. 3 or more people playing near each other, and you can activate the eraser. That's for when things get really hardcore. Okay, drop your socks and grab your Crocs. We're about to get wet on this ride. Here is Q1. Thor is most often associated with which of these objects? A yo-yo, a hammer, a feather duster? Apparently Stan Lee always wanted to play Odin, but he saw Anthony Hopkins' performance and he was happy with it. Now, the object always returns to him, but the item we're looking for is not a yo-yo. Better at busting heads than dusting them, it's a hammer. If I had a hammer, yes, you'd be going through the next round. 60,955 of you are. If I had a hammer, I'd hit myself on the head for putting that song in my head. Q2. Which Chris does not play an Avenger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Tarrant, Evans, Hemsworth. What's in a name? Apparently loads of people started calling their kids after Avengers characters. Valkyries and Hawkeyes are much more popular than they ever were before. And there were 50 Marvels in 2017. Poor kids, with difficult names. What can you do? They're 3 of Earth's greatest heroes. Of course they are. But who was snubbed by the Avengers? Playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire instead, it's Chris Tarrant. And you talented bunch, 55,053 of you got that right. Yeah, now, next Thursday, there'll be more cinema-related thrills from another one of the most successful franchises in movie history. That's because it's Bond Trivia Night. If you saw me waffling on about Bond theme songs a while back, you'll know I'll love a bit of 007. That'll be on the 6th of December, so join us then. Q3. Which of these materials is interwoven into Black Panther's suit? Batmanium, Vibranium, Kryptonite? First mentioned in Captain America First Avenger for the eagle-eared amongst you. If you went for Kryptonite, then you've totally DC'd this one up. The most wobbly of weaves, it's reinforced with Vibranium. Absorbs kinetic energy. Yes, 46,660 of you knew that. Never mind the suit, what about the boots? I want the boots. You can jump down from tall buildings, and according to the comics, you can walk on water and stuff. Get me those boots. Q4. In Guardians of the Galaxy, what's the title of Quill's mixtape? Awesome Mix Volume 1, Galaxy Sounds, Throwback Grooves. The soundtrack album contains these very songs, and indeed a picture of the mixtape on the front of it. They're just songs from the 70s, but which of these was scribbled on the label? Classic Star-Lord, of course, it's Awesome Mix Volume 1, and awesome work from 40,925 of you there. Quill's mum gave him the tape, and here it is.
I look around. You know what I see?
Yeah, she gave it to him right before she died, and it's his last link to her and his childhood on Earth, until he finds Volume 2, that is. Q5. How does Iron Man introduce Spider-Man at the airport in Captain America Civil War? Under Ruse, My Secret Son, Spider-Boy. Tom Holland, the youngest at age 19 to play Spider-Man, and he became good friends with Robert Downey Jr., who kind of took him under his wing and gave him a pep talk at the audition stage. Tony may have become Peter's father figure, but they aren't actually related. Superhero-themed underwear from the 70s, it was underoos. Yes, those underrated underoos. 18,295 you got that, but yes, it was a bit of a savage question there. 23,196 eliminated. Underoos, if you haven't seen them, then you should check them out. Here's a little clip for you.
All right, I've run out of patience. Underoos!
Yeah, t-shirts and pants with superhero-related stuff. In fact, I'm wearing my own underoos today. Yeah, and people say I don't have a heart. Now, let us move on to Q6. Which of these characters is not introduced during the end credits of The Winter Soldier? Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Proxima Midnight. Have you noticed in this movie, Nick Fury talks about his grandfather being an elevator operator, and of course Samuel L. Jackson's grandfather was an elevator operator. Marvel and Masters at the mid-credit teaser, but who wasn't introduced at the end of Cap 2? Roughly 12 o'clock, it was Proxima Midnight. Yes, Midnight in a Perfect World, 18,259 of you there. One of Thanos' children, Proxima, arrived and died in Infinity War. The tough life of a lesser villain. Coming up on Sunday at 7, it's HQ Sports with Big Tyler. Note the new time. We're moving it from lunch into the prime time. Have an early supper with Tyler West and prove you're the best of the sporting best. Now back to tonight, and just time for a quick shout out to Eva, Kelly, and the cast of Bad Girls at the IAB in Sitges. Good luck for opening night. Hi to all of you. Good luck to everyone. Q7. In which movie is Stan Lee mistaken for Larry King? Iron Man 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Doctor Strange. He's been doing those cameos since way back in the cartoons of the 60s. And in the television shows, in Mallrats he even turns up as a voice of reason. He'll always be the cameo king. But when was Stan given a different crown by mistake? Tony Stark the sequel, it's Iron Man 2. 2 is the magic number for this one. 12,804 of you getting it right. It wasn't the first time Tony mistook him either, thinking Stan was Hugh Hefner in Iron Man 1. Hey, they look the same. Q8. What is the Wi-Fi password that Mordo hands to Doctor Strange? Shadowland, Shambhala, Wakanda. Doctor Strange. A lot of it was filmed up near my ends in an old pharmaceutical company. Had a look around it once, actually. It was kind of interesting. Now, you've been spamming the chat with it for months, but Wakanda won't get you online here. More legit than it sounds, it's Shambhala. Yes, and a fantastic answer there from 12,167 of you. Shambhala, the spiritual paradise in Buddhism and Hinduism, making it a rather ironic choice for a Wi-Fi password. Q9. In his first standalone movie, what's the name on Thor's driving license? Eric Masterson, Kenneth Branagh, Dr. Donald Blake. The best sci-fi stroke fantasy at the Empire Awards, I do believe. We love Empire here. Seems even the Norse god of thunder needs a fake ID sometimes. But who was he pretending to be? The doctor you'd prefer to anger is Dr. Donald Blake. Yeah, Dr. Blake. The answer we wanted, 7,464 of you. Blake's 7,000 there. Kenneth Branagh, of course, was the director of the movie. Thor posed as an astrophysicist to escape S.H.I.E.L.D. custody, despite Blake being a medical doctor. Well, just don't get too confused by it all. Q10. In 2012's Avengers Assemble, where does Natasha Romanoff first meet Bruce Banner? Calcutta, Algiers, Karachi. Romanoff, a.k.a. the Black Widow. Originally, she was called Clairvoyant, if you are into the cartoons of the 40s. But anyway, they've all played a part in the MCU. However, where did Black Widow and the Green Guy first meet? The cultural capital of India, it's Calcutta. Or Kolkata if you prefer. 6,153 of you knew that one. Natasha was sent to recruit Bruce to the Avengers, coming back with his signature and his heart. There's 2 to go, and all still 6,000 odd in the game. 387 people using extra lives to get back in. Pretty exciting. I feel this could be a record-breaking show. Let's see how many of you can make it through our last 2. Q11. Which book causes Scott to cry in Ant-Man and the Wasp? The Notebook, The Fault in Our Stars, P.S. I Love You. Peyton Reed cited Midnight Run and After Hours as inspirations for this movie. Have you seen After Hours? It's that brilliant Scorsese black comedy from the 80s. These books, I bawled my eyes out to all of them. But which one set off Scott's waterworks? Turning even the most sarcastic superhero into a pitiful puddle is the fault in our stars. And you are our stars, 4,825 of you. Who knew that one? All right then, Avengers assemble, because we are going to be powering into the final round. Yup, nearly 300 of you using those extra lives. Nearly 5,000 of you getting their last question right. With £1,000 still to play for, I fear we have some marvellous Marvel MCU geeks who are going to smash this show. But one last question. How many of you will go down at the last hurdle? Q12. Which of these does not feature in the UK version of Captain America's list of things to catch up on? Sean Connery, Monty Python, Thai food. Now, different ones for different countries. In France, the list included the 98 World Cup and the Fifth Element. In Australia, they got AC/DC and Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. He spent 66 years as a popsicle, but which of these wasn't on Cap's catch-up list? Like I say, the items vary depending on where you watch the film, but Thai food features on all of the lists. Okay, saying yes to our Connery, but no to our comedy. It's Monty Python for the win. And we have 1,869 winners tonight. Asleep for the danger, awake for the money. 1,869 of you. That last question, we would have called it savage if we did that on last question, because we weeded out a lot of you who didn't know the answer there, but still a huge, huge number of smarty pants. 54 pence or 53 is coming your way to Mom is Ama, to Crazy224, to Andy JN, to Dan Parkey, to someone who's got an amazing sunset, looks like it could be out in a desert somewhere with a salt floor, dunno, can't tell, it's a bit dark. Someone with a nice cartoon avatar. I wonder how the guys at Empire Magazine did. As always, it was a great pleasure watching you work. If you didn't win, we're still friends, right? I've been genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. No, wait, I've just been Beric. Find me on Twitter or Insta, send me a shout request, or just say hi. Big Tyler on HQ Sports, Sunday at 7. The Big Game, Sunday at 9. Before that, we're back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. to quiz you on the memes of the week, the big stories on the socials. Hope you can join us for that. Till then, I'll MC you later. Goodbye.